I am Professor S.D. Gade. I welcome you all for this video lecture on Introduction to Digital Communication System. So in this video lecture, we are going to see a functional block diagram of digital communication system. Now the simplest form of a transmission reception system is a 3-block system and which consists of a transmitter, a transmission medium and a receiver. Now if you think a communication of the transmission devices and reception devices in the form of transceiver, and if the transmission medium allows the signal in both ways, we are in a position to think of both way, that is bidirectional communication system. Now these are the elements of communication system. So here a source of information. Now source of information may be from microphone, camera, it may be analog source of information like voice, video are the continuous analog time signals, or it may be a digital source of information like a text or data files. Now this source of information, that is we called it is as message signal, is fed to a transmitter. Now function of transmitter is to transmit the signal over a communication channel. So here transmitter will transmitting this message signal that we called as transmitted signal. Now next to that is the communication channel. Now communication channel may be wired communication, may be wireless, and this transmitted signal will received by the receiver. We called it is as received signal, and the function of receiver is to detect or is to estimate a message signal which is to be transmitted from the transmitter, and at last it goes to the user of information. Now for our understanding, we will discuss only a one-way transmission reception system with implicit assumption that once we understood this, the idea can be utilized or for developing or analyzing a two-way communication system. So our representative system, that is communication system, in a simple form and again consists of three different entities, that is a transmitter, then a communication channel, and last is a receiver. Now next, the functional block of digital communication system. A digital communication system has several distinguishing features when compared with the analog communication system. Now both analog such as voice signal and digital signal such as data generated by the computers can be communicated over the digital transmission system. So, why we are utilizing a digital communication system? We have seen the communication system has major three parts, that is transmitter. The function of the transmitter is to process and modify a message signal into a form of suitable for efficient transmission over the channel, and this involves the amplification process, the filtering process and the modulation process. Now next major part is the communication channel. A communication channel is nothing but medium between the transmitter and the receiver, which will provide the electrical connection between a transmitter and a receiver. And there may be the different communication channels are present: the transmission medium, an optical fiber, a wire, a coaxial cable, a waveguide, or the radio links. And last important part is, major part is receiver. The function of a receiver is to recreate the original message from the degraded version of the transmitted signal after the propagation through the channel. Now, why we are switch over to the digital communication system? The reason is that a distortion of signal. Due to the nonlinearities and the imperfections in the frequency response of the channel acts as a filter to attenuate a signal and distorts a waveform. A signal attenuation increases with the length of channel. As we are going over a longer distance, the distortion or the attenuation is more, and the waveform is distorted because a different amount of attenuation and phase shift suffered by the different frequency component of a signal. The another reason is noise and interference. The noise and interference are picked up by the signal while traveling through the channel. Noise and signal distortions are the two basic problems of electrical communication system, and these problems sets a limit on a rate of communication. The transmitter and the receiver in the communication system should be carefully designed to avoid a signal distortion and to minimize the effect of noise, so the faithful operation or a reproduction of information is possible. Now it is difficult to distinguish a noise from analog signal, and it is easy to distinguish a noise from a digital signal. A digital receiver only needs to make a threshold decision, either 0 or 1. And in digital modulation technique, we are having advanced processing such as channel coding, source coding, encryption, then multiplexing, then lossless storing and retrieval, then now again the transmitted power and channel bandwidth. A general system design objective is to use these two resources as efficient as possible. Now in the most of the communication channel, one resource may be considered more important than the others, and accordingly we classify the channels as power limited or band limited. For example, a telephone circuit is typically a band limited channel, whereas a space communication link or satellite channel is typically a power limited. Mobile communication is both power limited and band limited. Now, the goals of the digital communication systems are a transmission at a high rate, error-free transmission, and that's why we are using a digital communication system, or we are preferring a digital communication system. Now, when a signal is analog in nature, an equivalent discrete amplitude representation is possible after initial processing of sampling. So both digital signal and a quantized analog signal are of similar type, that is discrete time, discrete amplitude signals. Now this is the functional block diagram of a digital communication system. So we are having a discrete information source. So if the information source is in the analog form, then we are going to convert it into the discrete amplitude and discrete time with the help of quantization and sampling. This discrete information source is given to source encoder, then channel encoder, then modulator. Now this is transmitted over electrical communication channel, then a received signal will be applied to demodulator. Now demodulated signal is applied to channel decoder, then a channel decoded output is applied to a source decoder, and finally a destination. So this is a block diagram of digital communication system. So this part is a transmitter side. So in a transmitter side we are encoding, that is source encoding and channel encoding, and the reverse of this is at a receiver side, that is channel decoder, source decoder. Now we are seeing each block in detail. Now first is the information source. So information source majorly categorized as analog information source and a discrete information source, and it is on the nature of their outputs. Now analog information sources such as a microphone actuated by speech, or TV camera scanning a scene, or one or more continuous amplitude signal. The output of a discrete information source such as a teletype, a numerical output from a computer, consists of a sequence of discrete symbols or letters. The analog information source can transmit or can transform into a discrete information source through a process of sampling and quantization. Now the discrete information source are characterized by the following parameters. First is a source of alphabets, that is symbols or letters. So these are the letters, characters, symbols, special characters and that are available from the information source. Now next is symbol rate. Now symbol rate is nothing but the rate at which the information source generates a source alphabet, normally represented as symbols per second. Then third is source alphabet probabilities. Now source alphabet probability is nothing but the rate of occurrence of each source alphabet, and it is different, and hence the probability of occurrence of each source alphabets become one of the most important property. Then the entropy of the source sequences. Now entropy is nothing but the average information content within the symbol. Next, that is a probabilistic dependence on the symbols in a sequence. Now there are the two cases. One, we can say symbol dependent and dependent symbols and independent symbols. Okay, so dependent symbols means the next symbol is to be emitted from the source is depends upon the previous symbol, and independent symbols means the symbol emitted at present will not depends upon the previous symbols, and accordingly their probability will change. Again, another important property is the source information rate. It is defined as the product of source and entropy and the symbol rate, and has an unit bits per second. Now next is source encoder and decoder. The function of source encoder is to efficiently represent a discrete source using a minimum number of bits. An input to this source encoder is from the information source. And here the source rate is defined as the symbols per second. The source encoder encodes a symbol information into digital format for the transmission. The source encoder converts a symbol sequences into the binary sequence by assigning a code word to the input sequence. So source encoder converts a symbol sequence that is emitting from the source into binary sequence, means in terms of ones and zeros, by assigning the code word to the symbol in the input sequences. The simplest way in which the source code can perform the operation is to assign a fixed length binary code word. Now code word may be fixed or variable. Source encoder will having a different characteristics, that is code word length. Code word length is nothing but the number of bit is used to represent each code word. Then block size. Block size is nothing but the maximum number of distinct code word that encoder can represent. Then average data rate and the efficiency of the encoder. Efficiency of the encoder is nothing but the actual output data rate compared to the maximum available rate. Now in the receiver side, we are doing exact reverse of the encoding. that is at the receiver, the source decoder converts a binary output of the channel decoder into the symbol sequences. So it is a reverse process of the source encoding. The decoder for a system using a fixed code word length is quite simple. Now we have already discussed the code word length may be fixed and variable. So it is depend upon which source encoding algorithm we are utilized. But the decoder for a system using a variable length code word will be very complex. Now decoder for each system must be able to cope up with the number of problems such as growing memory requirement and the loss of synchronization due to the bit error. Now next is a communication channel. A communication channel will provide an electrical connection between a source and a destination. The channel may be the pair of wires or a telephone link or a free space over which the information bearing signal is to be transmitted or radiated. Now due to the physical limitations, the communication channel have only a finite bandwidth, that is B hertz. B is a bandwidth, and the information bearing signals are often suffers the amplitude and phase distortion at it is travels over the channel. So as the distance of communication is increased, this distortions and noise will increase. In addition to the distortion, a signal power also decreases due to the attenuation in the channel, and further the signal is corrupted by unwanted unpredictable electrical signal refers to as noise. One of the way in which the effect of the noise can be minimized is to increase a signal power level. Now we have already seen the some of the system may be a band limited or some or power limited, or some system like mobile communication will be the band limited as well as the power limited. However, the signal power cannot be increased beyond a certain level because nonlinear effect that becomes dominant at signal amplitude is increased. Okay. So this is again one of the limitations. So we have to choose between a power limited and a bandwidth limited. So there will be always trade-off between these two. Now for this reason, a signal to noise power ratio, that is S by N, which can be maintained at a communication channel, and it is an important parameter of the system. Now next is a modulation and demodulation. Now the process of modulation will convert a channel coded signal into a format suitable for the transmission over the communication channel. So modulator accepts a bit of stream as its input, and that is nothing but a channel coded, and convert this is into the electrical waveform that is suitable for a transmission over the communication channel. Now modulation is one of the most powerful tools in the communication system in the hands of communication system designer, and it can be effectively used to minimize the effect of channel noise to match a frequency spectrum of the transmitted signal with the channel characteristic, and to provide a capability to multiply many signals and to overcome some equipment limitations. So it is used to match a frequency spectrum, to minimize the effect of channel noise, to provide capability of multiplex many signal, and to overcome the equipment limitations. Now that is demodulation. So demodulation is nothing but a reversible process, that is of the modulation. So the extraction of the messages from the information bearing waveform produced by the modulator is accomplished by the demodulator. For a given type of modulation, the most important parameter of the modulator is a method of demodulation. And there are the varieties of techniques that is available for demodulating a given modulated waveforms. The actual procedure used determines the equipment complexity and the accuracy of the demodulation. Then channel encoder and channel decoder. Now input to the channel decoder is a source coded code words. Now channel encoder enables the receiver to correct the error that occurred during the transmission. A digital channel coding is a practical method of realizing high transmission reliability and the efficiency that achieved only by the use of the signal of longer duration in a modulation and demodulation process. Now with a digital coding, the relative small set of analog signals or to selected for a transmission or a channel, and the demodulator is conceptually a simple task of distinguishing between the two different waveforms of known shapes. Now error control is accomplished by channel coding operation that consists of systematically adding an extra bit to the output of the source encoder. While these extra bits themselves convey no information, and they make it possible for the receiver to detect or to correct some of the error in the information bearing bits. The important parameters of a channel encoder are the methods of coding, the rate of efficiency of the coder, the error capability, and the complexity of the encoder. The channel decoder recovers the information bearing bits from a binary coded stream, and error detection and possible correction may be performed with the help of channel decoding. Now there are the different techniques of channel decoding, that is linear block code, convolution code, cyclic code. So these are used for correctly detecting the bits, information bits at the receiver side. Now decoder operates either on a block mode or a continuous sequential mode depending on the types of the coding, channel coding used in the system. The complexity of the decoder and the time delay involved in the decoder are important design parameters for channel encoder. So let's see again, we are going to revise the overall operations. Now first, if you are having a discrete information or a digital information, then it's okay. But if we are having an analog information, then we have to convert it into a discrete information source. Now this information source is connected to a block that is called as source encoder. The function of source encoder is convert this incoming information bit from the source into a code word, and this code word or coded that is source encoded signal is then applied to the channel encoder. Now channel encoder is used to increase a capability, that is error correction and detection capability. The channel encoder will add an extra bit to the source encoded bit, and then these channel coded information is transmitted, is applied to the modulation. The function of the modulation is to convert these channel coded bits into a continuous waveform that is suitable to transmit over this communication channel. Then the function of communication channel is to carry out this information bearing signal over the communication channel, and this signal is received by the demodulator. The function of demodulator is exact a reverse process of modulation, and this demodulated bit is applied to the channel decoder. Now channel decoder will decode a demodulated signal according to the algorithm used at channel encoding. Then this channel decoded signal is applied to the channel decoder, source decoder, and this source decoder will convert these bits into information bits, and this is an original information bit that is to be transmitted at the destination. So this is an introduction to the digital modulation system. So in this video lecture we have seen the communication system, that is major three parts as transmitter, receiver and communication channel. Then we have seen the functional block diagrams of digital modulation scheme. Then we have seen why we are utilizing the digital modulation scheme over the analog communication system. Okay. So thank you for watching this video lecture. Please like, subscribe and press the bell icon. Thank you all.